Hey there everyone, I'm just going to be doing a quick review today and show you how to load and use this Stanley electric stapler and brad nail gun, and I may also give you a description of how to use the manual one that I got here as well, but I'm sure you probably know how to use that. But I'll do a comparison of what the stapling looks like between the two of them. And so usually these things, just this one alone, costs maybe $60 Canadian just all by itself, but I happened to get the whole package here, including the staples and manual stapler, for around I think it was around $55 on Kijiji. And I know a lot of people are wondering, how do you load these staples, and that's one of the key things that I'm going to be showing you today. And I'm going to be showing some examples how I was stapling some ceiling tiles, and so I'll show you how that looks. And anyways, so this is the stapler itself. A lot of people have lost the instructions. It's a TRE550 stapler, they call it, from Stanley. And so if you want to load your staples up or take your staples out or brad nails out, you've got this device here. You just have to pull back on it. It doesn't come all the way out. I've got some staples in there right now. I'm just going to show those to you for now. And so if you're just loading them up, you can quite easily load them up. And sometimes there's a little bit of, it sticks a little bit when you're putting it back in, but it usually works pretty well. And then you push it in, and you have to kind of push in and then get that to clip on to make it stay. Of course, we've got the on-off switch here. There's an adjustable sort of power button if you want to sort of countersink the staples or brad nails a bit as well. And so you've got an 8-foot power cord here. A very light device. And I would also mention, if you're doing the brad nails, if you can see, I hope you can see this here. I'm going to zoom right in, but there is an arrow basically pointing in this. So they've got arrows on this metal arm here pointing down, and so if you're loading the brad nails, you want to get the brad nails sort of on to this side of the metal arm. And so you load them the pointy side pointing up against the bottom here. So you just lay them in here on the bottom, and then you push this device in to load them. And they also recommend that if you're using the brad nails, only split it in half. So split the single strips in half and only load them half at a time for the brad nails. That's what it says in the instructions. And so here I'm just loading it up for the staples to give you some just demonstration of how to use it. And I may also, I'll just let you know right now, I'm using these the heavy duty staples, the 3/8. And I'll also show you later on, I'm going to be showing you basically, this is the manual stapler, and I'm also doing some 3/8. However, these are labeled as light duty staples. So I got 1,500 per piece per package here of these staples. And I'll just quickly give you a look at the box as well before I do the stapling. Let's see here. See this basically gives you a description here. Basically light duty versus the heavy duty. Heavy duty, it's giving you a description of the different sizes that you can do. Probably easier to see on the back here. And so in terms on the heavy duty, the brad nailer electric, it goes 1/2 inch and 5/8 for the brad nails, and staples goes from 1/4 inch or 6 millimeter all the way up to 9/16 or 14 millimeters. And it also mentions here that it uses these types of staples, the Stanley Sharpshooter TRE550 series or Arrow T50. And when it comes to the light duty staples, again, we're going from the 1/4 inch all the way to the 3/8. And so I think that gives you a pretty good description of what it is. So I'm just going to be plugging in the power cord here. Okay, so we've already loaded up the staples, of course, and right now I could try to, but since you can see it's currently it's in the off position, so I could try to staple. It's not going to work. So we'll move it to the on position, down. And so you can see some here. Now the first one I didn't really hold it down very firmly, and it didn't really go, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it didn't go all the way down flush with the wood. But the second one here, I held it down really well, and it went down really well, and it actually kind of went under the surface of the wood, which is pretty nice. Depending on what you're using it for, of course. But then I'm going to show you maybe a ceiling tile here as well, because that's what the job I was using it for recently. And I hope you can have a good view of that. I hope you can see that on the camera. So there we go. And I'll just show you what that looks like. So it looks like it's holding pretty well. And of course I could, of course, keep in mind you can also make adjustments using this to increase or decrease the countersink potential of the device. And I would also point out there's a little description here on the side of it, which can tell you the different sizes that you can use, the brad nails and the staples. And so for this one, I'm just going to turn that off for a moment, and maybe I'll just take a look at this one and sort of compare this one. This one just loads up with the standard, you know, this type of a clip here where it just slips underneath. And this one, of course, you can just, it's quite simple. You're loading these ones in. It's just a standard, maybe I'll show you there. So that's what it looks like there. You just load it on top of this U-shaped metal here. Load it in. I'm sure everybody's familiar with these, but I'll just go through it just in case. And so there we go. Works very nicely. I'll just give you another demonstration here. Okay, so there we go with that. Of course, these staplers are much smaller. They're lighter duty in nature than these. And so maybe I'll just take that off for now and maybe do an example. Maybe I'll just do an example here with this piece of wood. And so I'm just going to turn the device on. So it's so, you know, I'm sure it works for a variety of different purposes. I mean, you could use it to staple all sorts of different things. I'm not going to give you a description of every possible thing that you could use it to staple, but hopefully that was a useful demonstration for you, and hope you enjoyed watching the video. And make sure you wear your safety glasses if you're using this type of equipment. And thanks very much for watching.